Hey guys, today with the topic of the secure attachment style. We've had videos on the avoidant and fearful so far, and admittedly there's not quite as much that can be said about the secure type as there is for the other two. The supposedly most normal or best attachment style sounds like, as the word implies, that everything is secure here. Securely attached people usually have been securely attached since childhood. As humans, our biology requires us to bond with at least one person. What this bond looks like depends on how the multi-layered relationships of the parents were formed in childhood. The quality of the bond is determined by the sensitivity and emotional availability of the parents. This can of course be influenced by a wide variety of factors, e.g. temperament of the child, family life situation, own life history, etc. The quality of attachment is shown by the person's trust in the attachment figure's attention and reassurance she has received. It should not be forgotten here that these attachment experiences in early childhood determine our behavior. The secure attachment style has a positive internal image of him/herself, as well as positive ideas about the other person, and thus can have positive expectations of others. A secure attachment style can allow closeness and feels a relationship is supportive to his life and also emotionally. This does not involve dependency or pressure or a strong desire for closeness. Secure attachment styles can show their feelings openly, especially in situations of emotional stress. They know what is going on inside them and have respect for both themselves and others. As a result, they respond appropriately and predictably. They will usually say what they are thinking and then mean it. They are comfortable with intimacy. They can strike a good balance between autonomy and intimacy without clinging or disinterest. Secure attachment styles usually have no trouble communicating when they are uncomfortable, need help, or are otherwise in an awkward position. They are able to accept attention, which reduces tension and thus leads to maintaining self-worth and quickly getting rid of the problem. They succeed in this because they have experienced as children, when I am under stress, I turn to my caregiver and they give me strength, closeness, and attention. They can draw strength from this in adulthood as well. Often, these attachment styles have their own ways of approaching problems and resolving conflicts more flexibly. They often have less fear of loss and more adaptability. They can respond more flexibly to their partner without putting themselves too far behind. However, it is precisely this honest and sincere nature that can lead to these attachment styles being perceived as boring and not exciting enough to continue dating. The crux of this is that secure attachment styles could help the anxious or avoidant types get the security these types seek. They could provide that security. Secure attachment styles do have internal working models, such as, I can trust and rely on others, I am a lovable, important, and valuable person. But even these attachment styles are not infinitely resilient. Since we should never think of attachment styles as belonging to 100% of one type, but rather on a scale where one is mainly one thing and to small parts something else, we should also be able to see why no one person can be completely compared to another. While it is possible to recognize their mechanisms and distinguish here between the mainly avoidant, fearful and secure, however, these expressions each have their reasons. Secure types have either navigated safely between other people and their emotional health since childhood through their security, or have become more secure over time through personal experience and development. However, it is just as possible for a secure attachment style to slip down the scale due to key events and traumas and develop behaviors that make a positive association with their self-worth impossible or no longer allow them to trust other people sufficiently. Secure people can thus become fearful or avoidant abruptly or over time when external circumstances drive them to do so. To become secure is the greater art, and here it only helps to increase one's self-worth over the years, to acknowledge one's peculiarities, and by that I don't mean to accept them too indiscriminately, but they are there, you don't need to deny that, and finally also to work through possibly repressed emotional traumas and to balance them out inwardly and only for oneself bit by bit. There is no use in trying to bend for a partner, for example, if you are an anxious attachment style. It has to be for yourself, and as selfish as it may seem to you, both of you have something to gain from it if you become more secure through it over time. The boring that can be attributed to the secure attachment style comes from the predictability of his actions and that there aren't those highs that you can experience in an anxious avoidant relationship. But once the limerence is over, the quality of the relationship with a secure type really comes into its own. Because then, suddenly, everyday life is really effortless, and the less one's own attachment mechanisms are triggered and one feels attacked, so to speak, as an anxious or avoidant person, the more security one also gets, and the more secure one is within the relationship, the better everyone is doing in it. The easier it is to tackle your own problems. If one's own nature does not rob the energy for it, and one has the feeling to have only alone enough strength to be able to tackle the necessary work. Because in this way you exchange power for security and love, and why should that be the goal when you could have both? So kids, becoming secure yourself will help you in any kind of relationship. It's a long road, but shall I tell you something? If you have a frame and stick to what you are usually supposed to develop in no contact or on your journey to becoming a serious man about yourself, improving all areas of your life for your own happiness, that will also make you a heck of a lot safer at the same time. A serious man is a secure attachment style at the same time. Not necessarily because that's what he was aiming for, but again, it's a byproduct of the self-worth that's been created and your own security that you can give yourself in that case. Counts the same for women, of course. It's just a concept from which you can easily transfer a lot to your own life. You don't have to be separated, you don't have to be a man, you don't have to be in any special relationship with anyone. Personality development and working on yourself is how you can make yourself happy. Take care and see you in the next video.